Welcome to Territory Control 2. Easily one of the most chaotic games I've ever played. In a world filled with guns, wasps, and whatever those giant things are supposed to be, me and my friends decided there was only one logical thing to do. Start a completely legitimate business empire. An empire focused on producing and distributing medical supplies like syringes and energy powder. Kind of business you definitely don't need to explain twice. Now you might be thinking, wow, that sounds like a normal and ethical business decision. And to that I say, we basically started a drug cartel.
You're goddamn right.
Which of course can only mean one thing. Editor, you know what to do. Here's our journey to dominate the market in Territory Control 2. Things did not go to plan. So come and join us and see if the L. Wilson cartel can rise to power. Or if we get wiped out before anyone even learns her name.
What the hell was that?
First, we had to pick a location to start our operation. We'd pick Brabant, a location that is fairly secluded on the map. And we thought here, we'd be able to establish our cartel without much danger early on. Little did I know, we'd soon be proven wrong. To start building in Territory Control, you need to claim an outpost. Literally seconds after I did that, our neighbor would come and pay a visit. And by visit, I mean immediately attempt to murder. I know already. I'm on the right side of the map. What are the capybaras in this game? God damn. Oh my god, there's another bee. After having dealt with the first wasp, I'd get to know our other neighbor, the badgers. Like the wasps, they're hostile to humans. Luckily, they don't do much damage, but they're absolute bullet sponges. I'm pretty sure the only thing keeping this badger alive is either overwhelming amounts of hatred or 50 pounds of nose sugar. So for now, I decided to just wound them and move on. Of course, they would heal over time, but hopefully I'd have some better gear before they do. I then went on to explore the mountains left of our base a bit. We need tools to build our base and gather resources. Luckily, I quickly find a sledgehammer and a crowbar, which is reassuring, because nothing says medical professional like blunt force trauma. After having returned to base, I had spotted the first player. She was murdering some wasps, and like a true businessman, here's my degree to prove it, I had thought that this person could be our very first customer, or at least a networking opportunity. I was wrong.
I can't make my escape, I'm dead!
Yep. She cut my head off with a machete. I quickly respawned in the hope of getting vengeance, but she ran away before I could get back. After retrieving my stuff, I do some digging into the history of the server. And I found that we're definitely not the only ones that decided to make the province of Brabant our home. Before we decided to settle here, the Jenka Army was already fairly established. For now, all I knew about them was their name and their flag. However, this would not be our last encounter with this ruthless enemy.
Escucha. Aquí es tu tierra y siempre la será. Siempre la será, mamá. Aquí es tu tierra y siempre la recordará.
After losing my stuff, I need to find some new tools. Luckily, I found a sledgehammer and a wrench quite quickly in the containers around our base. I would then display my amazing reaction speed while attempting to kill a wasp with my sledgehammer. Believe me, it's harder than it looks. One of my faction members, Coffee, had by now joined the server, and while attempting to get to our base, she was paralyzed by a group of wasps, so I went to help her out. Too late. Okay. Come here. Wait, actually, we can climb up here. After returning to base, we had a staunch task ahead of us.
Ow.
we'd need to industrialize fast, because nothing scales like illegal business. We will not only need to create our product, but also better weapons to fight the many enemies we've already created. This would be easier said than done, however. It started off with constructing a platform, which we could use as the foundation of our workbenches. As any empire builder will tell you, step 1 is constructing a floor. Meanwhile, Coffee would prioritize digging out a room that would later serve as the safe place for our storage.
I'm slowly chipping away at this platform.
After a while of building, we were practically under siege by the wildlife, so I decided to exterminate them one by one. I then place our first heavy workbench, which we can use for more complicated recipes, and a headquarters, which we can use to assign roles to the players in our faction, such as guards, clerks, and officers. However, to build the foundation of the headquarters, I'd need to mine some more scrap metal. While I was mining, a gunner suddenly opened fire. But before we could retaliate, the Jenka Army gunner had disappeared.
Yeah, they're gone. They just didn't hit everyone.
Which was somehow scarier than the gunner shooting at me. I think this pattern of hit-and-run attacks would be a recurring theme during the establishment of our settlement.
Oh, peeking. Oh, got you. Oh, peeking. Oh, got you. Oh, peeking. Oh, got you, got you, got you. What? I got ricocheted. I got hit by the ricochet.
The weapon that the soldier had is called the Dinner Blaster. Territory Control has this quirky mechanic where you can design your own blueprints for weapons. With this, you can change the rate of fire, the bullet caliber, and much, much more. That's how the Jenka Army had managed to make this absolute monstrosity of a weapon that they will be using against us in the coming battles. However, the L. Wilson Cartel was not out of the race yet, for I had found HE ammo for my scatter gun. This ammo has a special ability of turning people into clouds of blood, which I'm pretty sure is not FDA approved. I then poured in the rest of the necessary resources to finish the construction of our headquarters. We need more room if we wanted to construct all the necessary production facilities. So I started construction on a second floor, fiddling around with support beams and sort of understanding how they work.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Look, okay, the building was standing. That's all I needed to know.
Oh yes, I have ammo somewhere.
Day 2 of the server would be marked by multiple all-out assault by the Jenka Army.
There's another one.
Oh, a gun!
There's two. There's two. Yeah, wait, give me 1 second faster. Okay, one of them's dead.
I'm in trouble. I can't climb up the ladder.
Okay, wait. His gun's jammed. I think we need to charge him. Yeah?
Why can't I get up? No, please!
Either they'd destroy our base or die trying. In the little downtime we got after the first wave, I'd construct an oven for simple heating of crafting materials. As the second wave approached, I was reminded of the danger of HE shells. Or well, I should clarify the friendly fire danger of HE shells. A lesson I would immediately demonstrate.
I killed myself.
Luckily, I was able to respawn, kill the Jenka soldier, and loot my corpse.
Oh, this is bad.
She got reinforcements. Get down.
Come on, guys. I forgot to get a gun.
The Jetty.
We then went and cleared up the last remaining soldier of the second wave. After we felt like we had fought off the last of the Jenkas, we continued the construction of our base, with me now helping Coffee dig out the rest of our chest room. In the currently dug out room, we'd already placed a tool rack and a chest. Though cheap to craft, these only have a limited amount of storage. And more importantly, anyone, even those outside of our faction, can open and access them, which is not ideal for a criminal enterprise. So our next objective was to build a storage building, which can only be accessed by members of the L. Wilson Cartel. Crafting and building in Territory Control 2 looks very overwhelming. I mean, just look at this. This looks more like a text form than a crafting menu. However, once you get a feel for the game, the core loop is actually quite simple. To craft items, you need raw resources. There's 3 main ways to harvest these resources. 1, you can get them by looting. Scattered across the map are tons of crates, chests, and more importantly to us, trash cans that you can loot. I'll elaborate on why trash cans out of all objects are important later. Mining. You can also get raw materials by mining them. If you hold Alt on your keyboard, you can see what the ground is made of and can detect scrap metal or rare ores. Additionally, you can also cut down trees and saw the timber to turn them into planks. And lastly, you can get raw resources by scrapping. If you have a crowbar or a sledgehammer, you can basically scrap every object in the game. From cars to fences, you can scrap it all. After you've collected those resources, you can go to different workbenches or crafting stations, depending on the need, and select what you want to craft. Then your character will start. Okay, can you stop for 1 second? Then your character will start manually crafting the item you selected. But don't get too comfortable. While crafting, an enemy could be looking at you at any moment. And in our case, they usually were.
Oh, sniped!
It seems that the Jenka Army has learned from their previous mistakes. And maybe watch my biggest war on Finnish story video. Because they have now fully adopted the guerrilla warfare doctrine. They now utilize their superior high caliber ranged weapons to snipe from a distance and disappear before we can counterattack. Which is a strategy we had not yet unlocked. This would basically lock us in our base because we never had the ammo or the manpower to push them back inside of the wildlands. Of course, the Jenka Army weren't the only people populating the server, and a lone survivor would attempt to raid our base in search for a quick score of loot.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Oh,
Ciao, ciao.
After this, we didn't have any attacks in our base for a while. This gave us some crucial briefing room, exactly what we needed to build up our organization and make L. Wilson one of the most infamous groups on the server.
Bueno, sí.
Huh?
Beaver.
Camina.
Drug cartels don't just exist out of mob bosses and fall guys. Most work on a decentralized hierarchy system of mules to carry illicit medicine, enforcers to guard, and lieutenants to lead. For now, I'd be selected as the only lieutenant of the L. Wilson Cartel, Lieutenant Blobfish. Next, I would assign Coffee the role of builder. However, just the 2 of us simply wouldn't do, so I went around recruiting using the most advanced recruiting method I knew. With this method, we had expanded the organization. We now had 3 mules and 5 enforcers. I now felt confident enough that we could start manufacturing weapons and illicit medicine without risk of robbery. We'd spent the next day expanding our base and learning more about the game. Pretty quickly, we'd finished construction on our smith, and half an hour later, a recruitment station. The recruitment station allows us to select characters with better stats after we die. After these 2 were finished, I'd start construction on the 3rd floor. And in case you're wondering, no, I still don't understand how support beams work. I also closed off the hallway connecting our base to the badger nest. We cannot risk the badger stealing any of our medicine supply, or they might become too powerful.
We need to build a wall.
On day 5, I abandoned the construction of the 3rd floor in favor of the 4th floor. This was totally for strategic reasons, and not because I still couldn't figure out how support beams work, and the structural stability wasn't stable enough to build on top of it well.
What if I jump?
Coffee, our head of building, also wasn't able to get on for a while, so this will just have to do.
Are you gonna get
I
fucked
just
up?
spawned as a fucking.
Did you spawn in as a miner? Oh shit! Got us.
Not expecting any Jenka Army attacks, I also created a wooden platform connecting our base to the mountain on the left, expanding our area of control. At this point, our organization had swollen enough for us to start looking outwards. Not only in our map, but the entire server. We started thinking of possible supply routes our mules could use to buy and transport meth. Not only that, but we now had the manpower to defend these logistical networks. The next region we were planning to expand business to was Haraburdek. We were unfortunately now running dangerously low on ammo, so before that we'd set out to build an ammo crafting station. We could do mass human wave attacks to protect our territory, but that would be very constraining on our manpower. For this new project, me and one of my enforcers would need to collect a bunch of scrap metal. After we had gathered some more resources, I got fed up with all the wasp attacks, so I finally decided to do something about it. Having gotten rid of the wasp nest, there's now no way for wasps to spawn on this map anymore. So that is now a problem of the past. With new ventures come new challenges. And after we sent our first enforcers up north to Haraburdek, we found out there's already a faction there, naming themselves the Kobold clan. And let's just say they weren't happy with our enforcers entering their territory.
Well, what do we have here?
Oh shit, that almost hit me. Get down. Got him. Fuck, he's hiding behind the road. Oh, get down, get back, get back, get back.
Our fate was sealed. We'll need to take Haraburdek by force.
Trompeta.
Fucking execute your friend over here. Come on, get him.
While we were still busy expanding our influence in the province of Brabant, reports started coming in from Haraburdek. The two enforcers I sent were dead. With that news, our plans of expanding into other regions were temporarily curbed. On day 7, we'd finish our last preparations. We expanded our base and diversified our arsenal. The Kobold clan sent a clear message: encroach on our territory and you'll eat lead. Luckily, the L. Wilson Cartel has a lot of enforcers that love the taste of lead. And so it was time for L. Wilson to become a server powerhouse, not just a regional one. This expedition will make or break our organization. Everything is on the line. However, with a new area also comes new environmental hazards.
Really?
I love Poland.
Two things that we can
Haraburdek is a mining region with rough terrain and minimal wildlife, ideal for an industrialized society to prosper. We started off with a small outpost on the furthest right side of the map, with the plan to attack to the left and conquer the main Kobold settlement in the middle. First, me and another enforcer went left to scout out the territory a bit. However, we quickly ran into some Kobold patrols.
Got it! I surrender! Please don't kill me!
Although most kobolds didn't carry very heavy weaponry, with some exceptions, they have strength in numbers and health. Having hardier skin than humans, these freaks can often survive multiple gunshots that would kill a normal human. After surviving my first encounter with the kobolds, I saw one of my enforcers at base fighting off a horde of badgers. My natural instinct, of course, was to jump to the rescue.
I'm dead.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, so needless to say, that's the last time I'm going to try and help out any of my comrades in arms. After we met up at spawn, we exterminated another Kobold clan scouting party.
Oh my god, you just made it disappear.
Where's my armor?
Siempre me ha gustado la sensación. Igual al
Looks like this guy
resto
just shoved him.
que yo no soy. Y el alma sé que tengo, pero
And continued our march towards their base.
efecto sin querer cuando perdigan.
The Kobold clan threw waves of bandits at us, but we had to push on for Wilson.
Arriba, que no te llegue de
My tent inventory's full of
sorpresa.
ammo. Let's go
El
get
que
this shit.
apuesta por sí mismo es al
Once we spotted the compound, we tried to finish the fight. However, this did not go as expected.
que te suba la cabeza. Sin más arriba, a la familia
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Oh, he's got a jet. Okay, there's one behind us. We'll leave him for now. Kick me to death.
What the fuck is that?
Watch out, watch out.
Oh shit.
Kobolds are very persistent, huh?
We decided to strike while the kobolds are spread out and weakened. So, me and 2 enforcers would approach from the left side of the compound now. We will need to finish the kobold clan off here, or run back to Brabant and take our ambition to expand across the server with us. It's all or nothing.
Yo vivo con todo, no me queda más. Aquí y ahora es cuando no me quedo atrás. No hay vida infinita, ni tanto que hablar. Yo nací con mucho y si lo voy a usar. Déjame vivir, lo quiero sentir. La vida descubrir, pero la sufrir. Que pasen los días, yo no tengo prisa, voy a disfrutarlos porque soy sonrisa, no tengo prejuicios, es una aventura, la vida es de hoy y nunca es segura. Déjame vivir.
Having captured the base, we wanted to make sure any future opponents would look at the history of L. Wilson and see this as a reason not to mess with us. We returned home victorious that day. Our next goal now was simple: control supply.
He's at the phone. Don't run towards him. It's good. Lay down.
At this point, I wasn't running a business anymore. I was running an empire. Day 8 started off with me finally destroying the badger nest. Now, there would be no more animals spawning near our base. Well, apart from the capybaras, but apart from getting in the way, at times, they're chill.
Yeah, they're coming. Oh my god, no.
No,
Love,
Jess.
help me.
No, that's here.
Though we had destroyed the Kobold clan's main base, when I got online on day 8, some mules transporting gold from our newly established outpost on Harbour Deck got attacked by a Kobold ambush. So I started the session by assisting the enforcers at the province.
Reloading.
How dead does he have to be?
After the coast was clear, I returned to Brabant. We were trying to figure out how to diversify our market. Even though we had a steady flow of mules hauling in stacks of meth and reselling it to quite a lot of people.
Okay.
We wanted to branch out and not only increase our infamy, but our territory and control too. You can laugh now. Wait. No, wait.
I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and if you are, you should join my Discord. That's where I organize these events, get people for future videos, and occasionally pretend like I know what I'm doing. Links in the description. Join if you want to be a part of the next disaster. Also, quick thing, while I'm being held hostage here, the game is on Steam, second link in the description. The devs even gave me 5 copies to give away, so I'll be doing that in the Discord. No, wait. As I was saying, we wanted to branch out and reach new markets, so we began to gather and sell pervitin pills and morphitin B syringes. One small issue, however, turns out you need to understand chemistry to manufacture that, so I decided we'd just steal them instead. This wasn't only because we couldn't figure out how to make it, but also because drugs are mostly found in trash cans. Exactly the spot a junkie, potential client, would look for them. This means the market value of these drugs are deeper in the ground than Margaret Thatcher. So step 1 of our plan is to create a secure place to keep the drugs. In Territory Control 2, most items, including drugs, don't decay over time. So we decided on the
Drug pit.
This pit is truly the pinnacle of achievements for the L. Wilson science team.
No, I'm with the science team.
It was now time to scour every trash can on the map and create manufactured scarcity. If people wish to buy either of these 2 drugs, they'll have to come to us. Later that day, while I was out doing field work, one of my mules, Fast, got ambushed while carrying some of our money and got killed. The culprit was a Jenka Army soldier, so we went out to try and collect Fast's body.
Retreat. Guys are on me! Kill him! Charge him! Kill us!
We killed the Jenka Army scout, and after we realized no big assault was coming, we decided to continue with our daily task. I would go help a mule deliver money to a vending machine to buy meth and bring it back to base. We also came across another Jenka soldier on the way.
Oh. Somebody do CPR on her.
No.
I think she's... Yeah, okay. Put her out of her misery.
On day 9, while out gathering resources, one of our enforcers would come across another Jenka soldier. But wait, did you see that? During that battle, we had discovered a vault. This vault was locked by the Jenka Army and had meth inside of it. We figured at some point a runner of the Jenka Army would come and collect it. So we decided to pull out the oldest trick in the book, bush camping. After about 5 minutes of waiting, one soldier walked right into our trap.
Yo, you get down, get down!
Get back, get back. We're here as backup. We're here as backup.
He doesn't know you guys are there. He doesn't know you guys are there.
Okay.
Shoot his ass!
When we got back to base, we took a second to rest, but unfortunately, the Jenka Army was hot on our heels.
That's a boat. Oh my god, our base just got exploded. Guys. What? Oh my god. Guys, I think the Jenka Army might have weapons of mass destruction.
But now, I feel we had to get revenge. Our base was in ruin, and our opponent's ammo was probably running low by now. So, we would commit one last raid into Jenka territory to put the Jenkas in their place. This is the age of the L. Wilson Cartel, and we're here to stay.
It's the same.
he's out of ammo. Alright, drop some ammo. Alright, let's go. Come in. Okay, there's definitely a person. Okay. Enemy. He's hiding next to the rock.
Must be hell, no more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh, I got her. I got her in the face.
Trying to put our base.
Hey, if you defend our base, Coffee. We'll get him next time. Yeah, but if they're attacking our base.
Down on the bottom of the well, seagrass was all I found. I know, turn it in hell.
Let's bomb.
Cookies in this jar, did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land. Deep down on the bottom of the well, I duck the look, can't you tell? This place must be hell. Cookies in this jar, did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
I guess that was sort of a success. I'm not really sure.
And that was the rise of the L. Wilson Cartel. What started as a completely legitimate medical operation turned into one of the most chaotic runs I've ever played. We built an empire, survived multiple wars, cornered the market, and somehow the biggest threat the entire time was still basic structural engineering. Also, quick note, if you want to try this absolute chaos for yourself, the game is on Steam, second link in the description. Just to be clear, I'm not sponsored. They're not paying me. I just genuinely had a great time playing, which after everything you just watched might say a lot. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. And if you didn't, you're probably part of the Jenka Army and I hate you. Thanks for watching.